Okay, assalamu alaikum. So we will today start ops history, and the points covered is that G, P, A, L, D. These 5 letters indicate G for gravida, P for parity, A for abortion, L for live birth, and D for death. So how do we know about all these 5 words? G is gravida, means how many times she conceive, and P for parity. If we divide GA and PL in different column, so in between there is 22 weeks are there. So GA before 20 weeks, all are these are counted, and before after 22 weeks PL, that is parity and live birth, is counted. So G is how many times she conceived is G, and A for how many number of abortion miscarriage, either it is spontaneous or induce, whatever type, it is counted in abortion. And P for parity, how many times she deliver after 22 weeks, is parity, counted in parity. And live birth is L. So how many children are presently present. So this is that. So and death is you are knowing that how many fetus after or irrespective of the weeks and all. So we are more concerned about the GP AL. So now when the patient is there and she is A and C, she is pregnant woman, so we will start the history from GPAL. If it is she is not pregnant, then we start the history from PALD. So we would ask to her that how many children is there. So we have to write down in the history about the female and male child, and what type of delivery she had, normal or LSCS. So these two questions we have to ask. And if it is normal full term normal delivery, then we have to write FTND. And if it is from LSCS, some operation cesarean sections done, so we have to write LSCS. So these we have also write the indication in the LSCS why it is not normal and why it is not done. So if she has indication of like obstructive labor or prolonged labor or hypertensive history, so whatever is the case, we have to write in the indication of the LSCS that due to this reason she had a LSCS now. And each child we have to write down very in detail that either it is a full term normal delivery, that is FTND, or LSCS, and in the indication plus. Now coming to the abortion in the abortion history, we have to write down either it is spontaneous or induced. So in why it is so, and what by MTP, or the most important thing is that it is miscarriage or by pill she's have taken. So abortion is done. And after abortion we have also always asked that D and C is done or not. So this question should be there. D and C is there, or in some infection or fever would have come after this thing. So we always have to write down, because after abortion, if D and C is not done and she is just taking the pill, and the fetus, the product of conception is there only in the uterus, it is left. So there would be bleeding, and she would be she would suffer from fever, and some infection would be then there in the uterus. So we have always asked about this in very important point is there in abortion. And then live birth is we have to write down in the end LCB, that is last childbirth. So in the last we have to write LCB, last childbirth. If it is a boy of 18 years, we have to write 18, and we have to add the sign that is about. So we have to write down that last childbirth. So LCB is last childbirth, and so these are the point we have to cover in GPALD. GA before 22 weeks, PL after 22 weeks. So any relevant history related to these operations, hysterectomy, if she had a hysterectomy, we have to write down these points that she have done hysterectomy 2 years back. So we have to write down all the relevant point, what is there in and ask the patient all the history about the previous cesarean indication and all the things. So we have to write down like that. Okay, in the wide distance history, I forgot to mention one point, that is cervix. If there is some patient is having cervicitis, ectropion, polyp, anything in the related to cervix and all. So she's always complain about the backache. So should be already know about that she always complain of the backache if she's having the cervicitis, ectropion, and polyp in the cervix. So we have a patient of infertility, and the male and female both are infertile. So the one drug, that is clomiphene citrate, it increases the spermatozoa count and sperm count, and in female the same drug causes oogenesis. So the dose is different, that is for male it is 25 mg OD for 25 days, and 25 days and for 3 months, and in female 50 mg to 250 mg for ovulation induction drug. So in female, listen carefully, that in female start from day 5th of the menstrual cycle, after menstrual cycle. So for 5 days only, and 1 OD. Then the patient for that, for the fertile period in between, that ovulation period, that is 11 to 18 days is the fertile period. So in that period, advise Habbe Hamal 1 OD, and also give. And for ovulation study, we have always advised USG. So just note it down that we have to follow these pattern only as a treatment. And for if the patient is saying that inovulatory cycle is there, so for rupturing the graphical follicle, we have to advise dry cupping. It is very effective. So if there is we have to always assume if something like that is going on, we always think about the endometrium, and we blindly give the registrant, as we can assume that the endometrium is not properly proliferating, not lining properly, not the bed is not suitable for that pregnancy. So we blindly give the registrant from 16th day, from 16th day, and for 10 days we have to give. So this should be there. And the most important thing is that if the in other pathies, if the ovulation induction is they can done, but they cannot have a uterine tonic, so we can give the majun muine hamal and majun muqawwi rahim. So what is the effect? For the whole genital tract, muqawwi rahim, and it also work for hypothalamus. So this should be done, and this should be there.